First off, we got the name Live Music Capital of the World because we had more live music venues per capita than anywhere else. So it really had nothing to do with the music. It was really just about the space. And what ended up happening is the space did not go to everybody. The space went to the white guy with the guitar. We have a multitude of incredibly talented artists in this city, and giving them all a fair shake is super important.
Pull me some way, you know I got time. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I'm born and raised here, and I don't remember my first racial encounter, but my mom does. And she told me that I came running home crying because kids were making fun of my skin. My mom always told me, no one's gonna tell you that you're anything because of your skin. You gotta stay strong. And that was her whole thing. And it happened to me over and over again, especially being often the only person of color.
So maybe for a little while before it goes out of style, I can talk with you.
When I finally did start making music, I never saw myself represented in things like ACL and South by. If I wanted to do music, I figured I had to go to LA or New York or someplace where I saw myself reflected. People don't expect R&B to come from here. They don't really see Black people coming out of Austin like that in general. And then I was the Artist of the Month with The Statesman. That was the catalyst for my entire Austin career. I started to feel like I had a purpose, like I was doing something. I was helping carve out a space that I'd never seen before.
I got to admit this, I've been craving for your kisses. Wanna be your missus, baby. Yeah.
Racism in Austin isn't quite overt. It's systematic. You don't realize that what you're saying and what you're doing is actually continuing to push people out and not allowing for space. I cannot tell you how many times I've been called a hip hop artist, and I was like, this is not my space to take. Especially people who do hip hop and rap. It's hard for them to even get these venues because there's a preconceived notion about what type of crowds they bring in. It's all based on preconceived notions, stereotypes, and all these microaggressions that are just kind of put forward onto the community.
Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
We're in the middle of a pandemic, and then there is all of this social activism, beginning with the murder of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and the list goes on and on. For artists of color, particularly Black artists, whenever those things happen, being quiet about it isn't going to work anymore. I have to find a way to incorporate my activism into my everyday, into my art, into my existence, into all of it.
So when I say no justice, no peace.
Hopefully, in just doing what I'm doing and saying where I'm from and telling my story, it shifts perspective for another little girl or a little boy or person who doesn't necessarily see themselves reflected in our city.